CAIRO, AP, the Egyptian government has arrested at least 10 journalists since the coronavirus was detected in the country, a local human rights group said, accusing authorities of seizing on the pandemic to accelerate a long-running campaign against dissent. The wave of detentions comes even as authorities across the world release inmates in a scramble to curb the spread of the virus in prisons, where social distancing and other preventative measures prove impossible, said the Arab Network for Human Rights Information. The government has not released political detainees to prevent an outbreak, and instead put an end to family visits in prisons as a precautionary step. The health conditions in Egyptian prisons have deteriorated, and inmates are not receiving necessary health care, the network said, pointing to the case of Shady Habash, a young Egyptian filmmaker detained for 2 years without trial who died suddenly this month. Habash's death prompted accusations of medical negligence and raised fears about unhealthy conditions in prisons. Egypt's public prosecution released a post-mortem report saying he mistakenly poisoned himself by drinking hand sanitizer in his cell. The rights group outlined cases of 10 journalists recently caught up in President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's sweeping crackdown on the press. Earlier this week, security forces detained Lina Atala, the editor of Egypt's most prominent investigative media outlet, when she was conducting an interview. She was fined and released later that night. Other reporters continue to languish behind bars without trial. Journalist and photographer Sameh Hannan, the group said, was also arrested this week and accused of helping a terrorist group, a frequent charge leveled at all sorts of critics of el-Sisi's government. It's a reference to the outlawed Muslim Brotherhood, the Islamist group that el-Sisi has branded as the state's enemy, even though Hannan was known to be a secular Christian. Hannan's lawyer confirmed to the Associated Press that prosecutors have ordered his 15-day detention pending investigation into the terrorism charge. In addition to this month's arrests of Haitham Hassan Magoob, a reporter at a major local paper, and independent artistic producer Moataz Abdul Wahab, the group detailed the detentions of multiple media figures, including a major news company owner, TV presenter, editor-in-chief and documentary producer. In most cases, security forces burst into their homes, transferred them to police stations and accused them of spreading fake news or joining and funding a terrorist group. On Thursday, the organization separately said that security forces have disappeared one of its former researchers, Shema Sami, a journalist who had recently written for a news outlet run by a socialist opposition party. She has yet to appear before prosecutors. There was no immediate comment from Egypt's Interior Ministry. Since rising to power in 2013, President el-Sisi has sought to stifle all dissent by incarcerating thousands, including many lawyers, rights activists and academics. The country is ranked among the world's worst jailers of journalists, along with Turkey and China, according to the non-profit Committee to Protect Journalists. From Yahoo!